Okay, there's a place. Okay. Now, gentlemen, you are welcome, and Mr. Onofrio may not be making it to this loop, and but we will be looking at his work. Beginning here is this lab. This is how the lab looks like, and you can see how fantastic the lab looks. Definitely, this is the kind of lab that we dream of in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's go again. What are your comments on that? What are your comments about this kind of lab?
Well, if I must say, from what I can see, yes, I think it's a lab that gives room for individual practice, not something collective now or something group-like. Every student is left to focus on whatever he or she is supposed to be doing on his own desk. And so in a case where examinations are supposed to be carried out, this leaves students to their capabilities and capacities. So there is no room for sharing ideas, and then you can face your own job and then strictly bring out what you have, show forth your ability. And besides that, I think it's very neat. It's somewhere you can conveniently display all of your abilities. It's not like you're under pressure, you're feeling hot, or you're kind of getting irritated by the dirty environment. I think these are beautiful advantages that I can see of this lab. And of course, we can see a projector screen up ahead. So that gives room for the tutor's demonstration. So that means the tutor can easily project something on the screen, and then the students obviously and clearly can see it and then replicate that on their various workbench. I think it's a very compared to what we have in our schools, where you just have a row of workbench and then students are competing with space, and then not to talk about the dirty environment in which the plaster room often look like. So I think this a good one to emulate, sir. It's a good one to emulate.
Great. Dennis, do you have any comment about this very fine, beautiful environment? What are your observations of how this looks compared with our system? We can hardly hear you. Can you move closer to your mic?
Yes. I think it's a very beautiful environment. Yeah. It looks more like I think it's everything we think about here. It's very
We are no longer hearing you sincerely. Somebody has a background noise.
Okay.
That should be a Ebenezer. Okay, it has ended now. Mr. Dennis Emihe, we are not hearing you. I can see that your mouth is moving, but we are not hearing you.
Can you hear me better now?
Now, yes, a little better than what we had before.
Okay, like I said, if you'd ask me, I say it looks like a teaching environment. It's aspect of the art.
There's a lot of background noise at your end. Yeah, a lot of background noise at your end.
I don't know if the
I am zooming so that you can look at the lab and everything and see how it looks like actually. This is a workstation, a complete workstation. I think each table will accommodate 2 people. You can see all the drawers. You can see highly ergonometric share. You can see the workbench, very, very well designed. The drawers, there are wooden attachment to the table. I guess that is where you can do a lot of waxwork and trimming. So every it's like two students will sit on a table and distance apart, and they really have convenient time to really, convenient space to work. This is a very interesting place. I hope this kind of space and this kind of example would be good for any of our schools or training schools. You can see the furnace here. There's a furnace there. Who can guess what these are? Beside the furnace, what is it? Okay, there's a machine there. There's handpiece hanging. Here you have the, this is a smart board. This is a smart board where the lecturers can teach and use the board to show different kind of resources. You can see that there's a mic there. Definitely, this is a good place, a very convenient and decent place. I really support this kind of environment. Okay, let's move to the next thing, the next item. This broadens also. This broadens the view of the lab. Very fine and beautiful lab. The two persons to. This lab looks like it will accommodate more than two. It's like we're having up to three. If you look to the left of your screen, we're having up to three. Very interesting place. Very interesting. The floor is powerful. You can see how good the floor is, and very interesting. What are your comments? Do you have further comments about the design and how it looks? Mr. Matayo, Kisley is online now. I hope that Kisley will also put some comment too.
Well, I think my take on the lab remains the same. Obviously, we can see the floor well tiled, and that suggests to you that as a dental technologist, there is no room for you to do things that would mess up the floor to start with, because you didn't meet it like that. Like we have in our labs here in Nigeria, you see messed up floors, and then we're just streaming and everything is just, there's a kind of a restriction to every student. Like, you work neatly in your own environment. It's not like you're trimming here and then there is a kind of dispersed particles all around you. So I think these environments cause every student to order. I mean, like, that you're coming to this environment not just to work and then litter everywhere. You're here to do something very neat and then moderate within your own jurisdiction.
Do you think that they trim here? Do you think they trim here? Because if they trim here, don't you think there will be particles?
Well, definitely there are going to be particles, or probably whatever they need to do, waxwork, anything. But the presentation of these labs gives you a kind of, it passes a message to your conscious mind that it's a neat environment that needs to be kept neat. Like, definitely, if they need to do examinations and practical examinations, they definitely do them on this same workbench. Like, you're supposed to wax, you're supposed to do this.
Sorry, are you not surprised that we have a smart screen there in front of
I'm quite surprised.
Showing that dental technology is not just about using
the practicals.
Yes, and using a board
Yeah, it's
that you
board.
use
Yeah,
a
yeah.
marker. This is smart screen. If
Yeah,
I
is it
zoom
this?
on the screen very well, you will see more.
Yeah, I can see it from my hand. Yeah, I can see it from my hand. Yeah, I've zoomed it, and it's
Okay,
obvious
you are
it's a
zooming it there
digital
too.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm zooming it on my from my hand there too, sir.
Okay, okay, okay.
Mm,
That
yeah.
tells you that it doesn't have to be dirty environment, the wrong impression that
Yes,
I've
yes.
had over the years about how our labs
Mm,
look like. Okay,
yeah,
Victor,
yeah.
Kingsley, any comment? You want to tell us something about what you have seen on the screen now? This is a laboratory from US, a dental laboratory.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yep.
Good afternoon.
I'm so impressed with this
What
laboratory. It's well
what I've seen on
organized.
the screen.
I can.
Yeah, what I'm seeing from the screen is very fantastic. I think we can get this.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Is that Victor?
Yes. Can you hear me, please?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
loud and clear.
Okay. Um, uh, with the way you do that everything and it's well neat, well organized. This even with this the environment is so conducive for learning. You don't need to be in a dirty environment. Just like our environment, just with the notion that we have that dental technology laboratory, especially in plant and so can pack. But this place, there is a space enough for you to work on effectively. So I'm so impressed with this, and with the smart screen that I'm seeing as well, you can be working and be doing some things on the screen, which will direct you effectively. So I'm so impressed with this.
In fact, you've really spoken our mind and reproduced what we have said. Great. It's a great place. The notion we had about how lab should look like has definitely changed with this. Let's move to the next item. Wow. Can anybody tell us what this is? Because I'm not sure any of us have seen this fabricated in any of our labs in Nigeria.
Yeah, yes, of course. Of course. I'm not sure I've ever come across this kind of an appliance. And obviously, it's a screw
Likewise to
retained
me.
denture. It's a screw retained full denture, full arc denture. And of course, right in front of it is a porcelain fused to metal denture. Because obviously, I can see a metal substructure on the left side of the bridge. And then, of course, this presentation on the other sides of the bridge looks more like a porcelain restoration. So, and of course, the beauty of the appliance is something to marvel at. And I've not seen this before in Nigeria,
Yes.
especially this screw retained full arc denture. I've not come across this before. It's something to learn from. Something to learn from, of course.
Those are the things that Onofrio Azzarreto will be teaching us when we're meeting him. Now, this is an implant retain upper denture.
Oh, implant retain. Okay. Okay.
You know, this implant retain has changed our definition of fixed prosthesis.
Yeah.
This is fixed appliance, but it's denture. You know, a fixed appliance means the patient can't remove it on his own.
Yeah.
While a removable appliance means the patient can remove it on his own. But this is a full upper denture that the patient cannot remove on his own. You can see the holes through which the screw will be screwed to the implant.
Yeah.
So, okay, do you think the patient will be left to live to go home like this with the hole in place?
I don't
Of
think
course not.
because
Of course not.
the food. Hello.
Kingsley, be speaking. We are
Speak
hearing
on.
you. No need to say hello. We are hearing you.
Okay.
You can speak
I
on,
said
Kingsley.
I don't think they will leave the hole to be open because there will be food to jump back in the hole, so it will cause halitosis. So I think there will be a means of covering it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kingsley is there. We're not seeing his picture. Can you tell us what is likely they're going to use to cover it? What do you think they are going to cover this thing with? Since Victor already said that it is not likely that they're going to leave this with the patient and it goes home like this. Dennis Emiye, can you help us? Because Kingsley is not speaking.
All right. If you'd ask me, I think there are a couple of materials they can use to cover this, ranging from materials to composites. Just like we have a normal suit filling, we can use a composite to cover it up, or we can use an acrylic material to cover it up.
I think the practice is acrylic resin. Acrylic resin is often used to cover that space so that the color will not be different. Let nobody think that we use amalgam. Amalgam is being phased out. You use it's being phased out, yes. So they use resin to cover up all those holes, so that when the patient, once the denture is fitted in the clinic, that place is sealed up and the occlusion is checked again, because you know it is right on the occlusal surface. It's checked again.
So that there will not be any pre-contact.
So that there will be no pre-contact. It will be filled up completely, so that it will not. It will be done in such a way that it will not.
So in the case of the occlusal surface,
if I may ask, what about in a case where?
But in the case of this occlusal
to bring it out or remove
it, is it tooth material that will be used?
They are going to use resin to cover it. We said that before. It's resin. There's a resin that the color just like.
What about when?
What about what?
Would there be a sign of where you are covered? Because what if needs arise for you to remove it? What will happen?
Now, you know, I told you before, and I said it here before. I said it here. Victor, can you hear me out? I said before here now that this implant retain full acrylic denture has changed our definition of fixed appliances. You know, before, what we know as fixed appliances are either crowns or bridges. But implant retained upper or lower acrylic denture now has changed our definition. It simply means that full upper acrylic denture or lower acrylic denture can be implant retained and is fixed. So if somebody said if somebody tells you that we can have a fixed upper appliance, it means they are implant retained. And that simply means that you can't call it, you can't say it's a fixed appliance in the traditional way we know it. But now you call it fixed appliance. So our definition of fixed appliance has changed with this kind of development.
That's right, sir.
Yeah, okay. So this is another one. This is a 6-unit bridge. Of course, we are familiar. This is PFM, porcelain fused metal, very artistically made. Let's move to the next item so that we can spend some time before we go.
Okay.
Wow, this is another one.
Yeah.
This is another
Please,
lower.
I also want to ask for some questions.
Go ahead.
Okay. In the case of fixed restoration, sometimes maybe the porcelain might chip up and there will be need for want to remove and rebuild it up. What if you fix this with this full denture? I mean, you have covered the place, and maybe the material to some things or to adjust. How will you go about it?
Now, this is not conventional bridge, fixed appliance. You know that fixed appliance, the patient.
Please, do you get my question, sir?
Okay, please come out. The thing was cracking. I wanted to get it, but it was cracking. Please go ahead and say it again.
Okay. Okay. Sometimes, assuming it's a long span restoration, and some protein might chip out, and there might be a need to remove and rebuild it back or to adjust it. But in this case, after everything, you fill up after scoring, you fill up the space. So how will you know in case of if a need arrives for you to adjust, how will you know the exact place to remove the screw, then adjust and fix it back? That is what I ask of.
Okay, let me understand your question now. You are saying that in a bridge, in conventional bridge, that you seal down with cement. You are comparing it with this case.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, if this patient has problem, what the clinician will do is remove the material that he used to cover those holes. We're talking of this one now.
Okay.
He will remove the material
and
unscrew again, then bring it out.
So how will you locate the place? Is it that there will be a mark, or how will you locate the exact place?
Okay.
Assuming you are not the one that fixes it.
Okay. This is where treatment planning comes in. You know, when a patient is moving from one clinic to another, the case note
what to say is that it's about the case notes of the patient. Okay, but
yeah, the treatment planning will show the case note of the patient. We show that this is where all these things were, and then you will be able to adjust as necessary. Oyindamola, you raise your hand. Can you say something about it?
The connection was breaking, and I lost my signal.
Yeah, that is a problem with internet. But if you want to ask a question, you can just speak. We may manage to hear you, then we be able to answer your questions.
Okay, so okay, no problem, sir.
Kingsley, you've not spoken, and I want to hear your voice.
Yeah. Actually, I had network issues, so that's why I didn't speak then. But I think I'm just following up on what's happening.
I want to ask again.
Please go ahead, Kingsley.
Yeah, I'm following up with. Hello.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm following on with the appliances and the restoration being the pictures here. They're actually really good ones, and I don't think we have them in any lab here in Nigeria for the now. They are very, very interesting one, because some of these appliances, they're actually artillery resin, and then it can actually be within like an implant. So it's the first of its kind of thing for the first time. So it's a very, really good thing.
Good. It's an implant retain upper denture. And you see now it looks like lower. The patient has been relieved of all that will cover his palate. That area has been cut off. And so retention now is by implant. All the problem that full denture will have has been minimized. It looks like what is it called? It looks like a metallic framework. So that is one of the advantages of implant retained dentures. Please let us take note in our discussion here. If somebody is talking, make sure you conclude before you come so that we hear ourselves out. That's because we're not together in the same place, it's very important we take note of that. Okay, let's move to the next phase. This is another implant retain lower denture. What are your comments about this? Does it not look strange to you? Has any one of you seen it before?
No.
No, it doesn't
Not
look
in
strange.
Nigeria.
Actually, it looks good, but it doesn't look strange. It's just creativity.
Yeah.
It's a very good one.
Good. When you say creativity, I can't agree with you anymore because it is really a great work of art. With all those metallic structures, they are implants. They are going to retain that that denture that is beside it. This one is not likely going to be screw retained. There are two major ways through which you retain denture. It can be snap in and out. If it is snap in and out, it means the patient can do it himself. But if it is screw retained, the patient has to come to the clinic to get it done.
Okay.
Okay, let's move again. Because our time is almost up, let's move again. I think you see the same thing showing us in clearer perspective. You see in the upper appliance, you can see even all the metals. You see there are spaces under them. What are your opinion about that? Won't that create problem for the patient? Food particles packing into those places?
I guess this acrylic flag is to cover it up.
That is a very smart answer, Victor. That is a very smart answer. The acrylic will have sealed down everything and make it difficult for any food debris coming in. Very smart answer. Let me also show the next slide. You know why I'm showing this is Mr. Onofrio from US, who's supposed to be with us to explain all this to us. In the last minute, he canceled this meeting. And I will follow up on him until we're able to get him to the room. And he will have come to explain all of this to us. Because he made them, he sent all these photographs to us, about 22 of them. So, but I will follow up on him until we get him.
All right.
Okay, you can see this is another place, look like a clinical place, but let's move to a more interesting place. That's a lab. Okay. That is a broader view of the lab we saw the other time.
Okay.
Permit me to move further to other places. Okay, that's another view of the lab we saw previously as well. Okay. Wide range of appliances for us to view there. That is it. If you look at your left, the left of the screen, you can see that all the implants, they have spaces under it. You can see the materials for porcelain, the porcelain material fighter. I think all these were used to make all the dentures on the right to read. I mean, not denture rather, this bridge. Let me say implants, implant rather, and they're in the mouth of the patient already. Well made one. Can somebody imagine what you are seeing down the patient picture?
I think I can see post and call. Post and call. These are post and call to which the crowns are supposed to be seated. I hope I'm right.
They are not called post and call. These are implants.
The implants.
Okay, it looks more like
Yeah, I agree.
I'm having.
No,
Let me
pros and
zoom and.
cons. That is what implant
Sorry.
is
Well now.
was
Yeah,
referred
yeah.
to
I
in
can
the
see it
past.
well now.
Sorry.
Okay.
Pros and cons is very similar to implant. In few minutes, we may log in and out. In few minutes, we may log in and out so that we can see more of the pictures. Okay, in few seconds,
Okay.
you may see me disappear.
All right.
Come back again.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so that we look at more of these appliances. But in the meantime, let me move to the other appliance. Of course. There's a fantastic